Okay, let's dive right into one of the most hyped up, sensationalized topics in the entire Bible, the mark of the beast. I mean, we've all seen it in the movies, right? We've heard the headlines. But what if the way we've all been taught to think about it has kind of missed the point entirely?
Yeah, when you hear that phrase, the mark of the beast, your mind probably jumps straight to images like these. For decades, people have been talking about barcodes, microchips in your hand, some kind of mandatory ID. It's the stuff of sci-fi thrillers, really. And this whole way of thinking treats the book of Revelation like it's some kind of coded timeline, a literal forecast of future events that we're supposed to look out for. And for sure, this prediction model has been the main way a lot of people understand this passage.
But what if that's not the point? What if Revelation isn't trying to be a crystal ball for future tech? What if, instead, it's making a powerful proclamation, a bold statement about a spiritual reality that's been going on for centuries and is still very much active today? Now that's the question we're going to dig into.
So let's start with the first piece of the puzzle. We've got to decode the beast. Are we talking about some future political leader, or could it be something that's already here?
So in this interpretation, the beast, or the Antichrist, it isn't a single person who's going to show up someday. Instead, it's any institution, any authority that puts itself between you and Christ. It's any system that demands its rules get you to salvation and attacks the true gospel. Think of it more like a job title that keeps getting filled, not just one guy.
And get this isn't something we have to wait for. The Apostle John wrote way back in the New Testament that the spirit of Antichrist was already at work in his day. So this isn't about scanning future headlines. It's about a spiritual battle that's been happening for a very, very long time. Okay, so if the beast is more of a spiritual reality, then what in the world does that mean for its mark? Well, that brings us right to our next section, the mark of allegiance. Is it really about a microchip, or could it be about a mindset? Now, this is absolutely crucial. The beast's mark is a direct ripoff of a command from the Old Testament. See, in Deuteronomy, God told his people to tie his word to their hand and their forehead. It was symbolic, right? The forehead, that's your mind, what you believe. And the hand, that's your actions, what you do. The beast's mark is just a counterfeit of that. It's a symbol for a mind that believes and hands that act for a false gospel.
You see, this reframes the entire thing. Taking the mark isn't about accidentally getting a chip. It's a spiritual reality. It's about allegiance. The real question isn't what technology do I need to avoid, it's whose authority am I living under? Whose gospel do I confess with my thoughts and my actions? It's really a question of worship.
All right, you knew it was coming. What about that number? Let's tackle the meaning of 666. Is it some secret code we're all supposed to crack, or is it a powerful theological symbol?
Okay, first, to get 666, you have to get the number 7. In the book of Revelation, 7 is pretty much always the number of divine completeness, of perfection. You got the 7 churches, 7 seals, 7 trumpets. It's God's number.
So if 7 is perfect and complete, what's 6? Well, it's the number that falls just short. It represents humanity, our failure, always trying to be like God but never quite making it on our own. So what happens when you triple it? 666. Well, you get this incredible symbol. It represents the very best that humanity can do, the most impressive system we can build, that still falls short and falls short and falls short again. It's like a counterfeit trinity of complete failure.
So the bottom line is this: 666 isn't some puzzle waiting for us to figure out a politician's name. No, it's a theological statement. It's saying that the beast's kingdom, no matter how big and scary and powerful it looks, will always be less than God's, period.
So, if the beast has a counterfeit mark, it kind of begs the question, right? What is it a counterfeit of? And this brings us to a really powerful idea that kind of unlocks the whole thing. Let's call it a tale of two marks. And here it is, the whole conflict laid bare. On one side, you've got the beast's mark. It's a rival claim on you. It's allegiance to a false gospel. But on the other side, the book of Revelation talks about God's seal. And this is the language of baptism, the sign of the cross, the name of God placed on his people. The entire drama is about these two competing claims of who owns you.
It's just like the Apostle Paul wrote, "You are not your own, for you were bought with a price." In this reading, baptism is God's final answer. It's his stamp on you that says, "You are mine." It settles the question of ownership once and for all.
So let's wrap this up by putting these two ways of reading the text side by side. Prediction versus proclamation. Because, as you'll see, where you land on this makes a huge difference.
So here's the breakdown. The prediction model, the dispensationalist view, it's looking for a future politician, a literal chip, and a code to crack. The whole focus is on watching the news to avoid some future event. But the proclamation model, the confessional Lutheran view, sees an ongoing spiritual battle. The mark is allegiance to a belief system. 666 is a symbol of failure, and the focus? It's on clinging to who you are in Christ right now.
And this is why it really matters. One way of reading can lead to all this anxiety and endless speculation about politics and technology, but the other way, it gives this deep assurance in who you are today, right now, rooted in what God has already done for you.
So in the end, this view just reframes everything. The big question isn't, what future tech do I need to be scared of? It's something way more personal, way more immediate. Whose story am I living right now?